G'day guys, how are you doing? So, sort of like Brazil last week, we're going to do a live reaction, and this time it is literally a live stream video. Now, what time is it? It's 20 to midnight. The race starts in 20 minutes, and well, I was up for last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and yeah, I'm glad I stayed up for that. I didn't go to bed until about 2:30 in the morning. Um, yeah, I didn't go to bed until about 2:30 in the morning last year. Um, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. Yeah, it was definitely worth it. Well, unbelievable the year it's been. You know, I mean, I mean, does Hamilton have a point for feeling for the fans because there's no longer a fight for a championship? Yeah, look, I get where he's going, but because there's not a fight for a championship, or not really much of a fight for a championship, there's no reason why we still can't enjoy some awesome racing, if you guys know what I mean. But nonetheless, let's enjoy some racing for the final time this year. So 20 minutes to the race. I could have sworn I bought a hoodie here like not long ago, but I can't find it anywhere. Like I swear I put it like on that couch right there where this quilt is, because honestly, it's not warm here in Melbourne. It is seriously not warm, and I'm not sure. I should survive, hopefully. We'll put my laptop here for now. We might actually just looking at it because I've got the live reaction um, on my laptop, so I might just bring the camera a little bit closer. I tell you what. To be totally honest, just looking at the camera on this, it looks further away, kind of like you're looking at a GoPro, or the lens on the camera. It's kind of like a GoPro, if that makes sense, which is not something that's I'm not really that impressed about, but it is what it is. I'll be doing some upgrades soon, or soon, hopefully. Well, 20 minutes to the race. So we had a crap load of time to kill. I wanted to be sure that I wanted to start this stream, um, sort of, just so I have enough time before the start of the race. And so I've just got a bit of time to kill. Also a bit of time to find my hoodie. Doesn't matter. I've got a quilt to sort of keep me cozy, for now anyway. Ugh. This should keep me a little cozy, for now anyway. I don't know where it's gone. Jesus.
There we go, the traditional flyby, and Sebastian Vettel and all the drivers have gathered at the front again after the anthem, and I think a guard of honour that is going to be for the four-time world champion. As you can see, he is just one of the biggest characters, one of the most popular people up and down
I've just found this post on speedcafe.com, the worldwide motorsport center on social media, and it says that Formula One has introduced a new medal that will be awarded to the winner of each Grand Prix starting tonight. Oh, this is brilliant. A guard of honour for Seb Vettel. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he was. He set the bar high. The way he worked and he
I love that.
in a position that he was in the best car. Outscored everyone 4 times in a row. That was really, really impressive. A bit of change in the weather here in Abu Dhabi. It's been up to the tarmac. It's actually stone cold. I mean, this is like the first time. It's not hot. The conditions have been changing so much that we had a really competitive car when it was hot. And I was saying, not sure this is going to be good in the evening because it's much colder and we were not so competitive. So it changes all the way around. So I think we've engineers made a car that's good for the race and hopefully we can translate that.
So with Red Bull and Ferrari really working on that P2 in the Drivers' Championship, can you capitalise on that and try something a little different with strategy? Hopefully those two are going to keep each other busy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, try to have our best possible race and we're gonna do the best possible race, trying to beat the Ferraris for P2 in the Constructor Championship. If not, learn the most. Man, thanks, Soto, appreciate it. Let's go to Tech. There's a Carlos Sainz's car. The Ferrari view on this, and their view is that this fight with Mercedes is really the most critical. There are 2 fights today as Ferrari is concerned. First of all, the constructors fight, in which Ferrari
200 races for Valtteri Bottas as well. That's just come up like 5 minutes ago. Wish that was said earlier this week. Oh.
To overtake him for P2 in the drivers. So Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz here, just about to put his balaclava on, have a big job to do because it's Ferrari's priority to close out the Constructors' Championship battle with Mercedes. They say whatever happens with Charles Leclerc, if he can get P2 or secure it off Sergio Perez, who of course starts to put him on the grid.
You're probably going to get that from me a lot throughout this stream because it's literally 12 to midnight. We're about 12 minutes away from the formation lap, and we're about 15 minutes away from the start of the actual race, because it'll probably take like 3 or 4 minutes for each driver to do the formation lap.
Farewell to today is Ross Brawn. Ross, I suppose at long last, the lure of the river and fishing was just too much, was it?
Yeah, I think there's always a time comes to stop, and it's been fantastic the last few years, different side of the business, but I've really, really enjoyed it. See the cars race the way they can, see how healthy Formula 1 is, so it's a good time to stop.
special being here, your last working race?
Well, the highlight was always 2009, of course. So, yeah, but I look back very fondly, and it's the people in Formula One, the friendships you create, they'll never stop. So, I think I'll always be able to walk down the pit lane.
Thank you so much, Austin. Thanks for everything. We really appreciate it. Best of luck in a well-deserved retirement. Let's bring in Christian Horner. We've got shots there of your former driver, Sebastian Vettel. Let's just start with that. He brought so much joy, so much success to your team. How do you sum up his legacy?
Well, look, I mean, he's an amazing man. Everything that he did in the sport, we grew together. Him within the team, and those 4 world championships were very, very special. And whatever he chooses to do in the future, he can be very, very proud of everything that he's achieved and done in Formula One, and the person that he is.
Chris, you've never done it before. It's unbelievable to think you've never had a 1-2. If this could be the day, what do you have to do? What can Max do?
All the others.
That's pretty straightforward, yeah.
So look, Ferrari going to go aggressive. Mercedes, don't underestimate them. So we've got to run our race the best we can, and get our heads down and try and get away cleanly and get stuck into the race.
Thanks, Christian. Appreciate it. Let's just quickly go to George Russell.
I think it's going to be tight between us and Ferrari. I think Max, especially, is going to be a little bit too far ahead. But we'll do everything we can with strategy and whatnot to get ahead.
Well, last year's race winner, of course, would love to finish with a flourish, as would they all, including those that are making way for others on the grid in 2023. Here we go then. The sun is beginning to set on both the season here in Abu Dhabi. The race is next. Mission accomplished.
This Christmas, we've kept a range of your favourite classics at the same price or less than last Christmas. Like our Woolworths Pavlova base, made in Australia at just $5.40 each. Another way we're helping you get your Woolies worth. Welcome to the White Lotus in Sicily. You guys are here to learn about your Sicilian roots? What happened last night? Just been a series of very bad decisions.
We've had very bad luck. Best thing about luck is can always change.
The White Lotus, Mondays 8:30 on Fox Showcase or watch on demand.
To celebrate 100 years of the BBC, Foxtel Rewards is giving away the trip of a lifetime to the UK for 2. Enjoy accommodation in the heart of London and all the amazing sights the city has to offer. Plus an all-access tour of the iconic BBC World News Studio and plenty more. To find out more and to enter, visit foxtel.com.au/BBC100. Join Foxtel Rewards today.
For those of you watching F1 on Sky Q and Sky Glass, the Sky Race Recap allows you to quickly catch up on all the key moments from a Grand Prix weekend. So if you joined late and have missed any of the action, or simply want to go back and watch the best bits once again, then you can. All you have to do is hit the red button on your Sky Q, or the button with the 4 colours on your Sky Glass remote, and select Race Recap. A timeline of events will appear that you can navigate through, including the starts, overtakes, and all the crucial moments. So whether it's before, during, or after the race, Sky Sports F1 is the go-to destination for all the best F1 news, views, and action.
The Falcon. Focus. A hunter.
Max Verstappen for the leader.
Britain, it's Prix.
Max Verstappen, you are world champion.
The fastest on earth.
Here we go then for one last time in 2022. Welcome to the final round of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now the championship might be decided, but three drivers go into this race with a chance of finishing as runner-up to Max Verstappen this year. His teammate Sergio Perez and Red Bull have never had a 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc, who's currently second in the championship for Ferrari, and George Russell, who needs Leclerc and Perez both to falter whilst he wins for the fastest lap. We'll see what happens then. We've got 58 laps to come around this 3.28-mile circuit. We're right by the sea here. We've got 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. And well, there's always a chance of an overtake. Down is the hairpin at turn 5, and this was the overtake that decided the World Championship here last year. Max Verstappen late on the brakes and snatching the championship trophy out of Lewis Hamilton's grasp. Hamilton had been under a lot of pressure from Sergio Perez earlier in the race. This overtake proved crucial. Perez holding up Hamilton and reducing the advantage that Hamilton had, by about 10 seconds during the middle part of the race. Hamilton and Verstappen then going wheel to wheel into turn 9, the parabolica, and coming out of it, Verstappen can start to think about that first World Championship trophy. He's gone to win another one since, and this year by a very comfortable margin. Now we've got 3 tyre compounds. C5 is the soft and it doesn't last very long. C4 the medium, C3 the hard. The team's hoping that degradation isn't too high. They could maybe get away with a 1-stop race, but if it is, it's definitely a 2-stopper, and those mediums might just come in rather handy. Here's then the grid for the final race in 2022. Williams, for the 3rd time in 6 races, the slowest 2 cars for the TV. On his final race for Williams starts last, Alex Albon alongside. It's a 200th Grand Prix start for Valtteri Bottas alongside Pierre Gasly. Ahead of these two, Kevin Magnussen, pole sitter in Sao Paulo, knocked out in Q1 this weekend. And Zhou Guanyu, the one rookie on the grid, starts 15th. Lance Stroll, 14th, his worst Abu Dhabi start since 2018. Daniel Ricciardo gets a 3-phase grid penalty for his crash in Sao Paulo with Kevin Magnussen. Mick Schumacher is 12th, and Yuki Tsunoda will start 11th. He finished 4th here last year. Fernando Alonso says he's going to look after Sebastian Vettel at the start. Alonso 10th, Vettel in his last race.
I like to see that happen.
Ahead of him. Lando Norris 7th in the championship and 6th, 7th places this season is 7th on the grid. It's George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, an all 3rd row Mercedes. It's an all 2nd row Ferrari. Carlos Sainz 4th and Charles Leclerc starts 3rd. And then it's Sergio Perez 2nd, his 5th front row start of the season. And Max Verstappen his 7th pole of the season as he attempts to win at this circuit for the 3rd year in succession. And he's never done that at a racetrack in his career so far. A lot of eyes on him, huge amount of eyes tearing up for the farewell of Sebastian Vettel. 299 and final start.
He's been driving beautifully of late as well since he announced his retirement. The pressure off the natural juices and talents flow. As you pointed out, the Noah's Ark grid at the front, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz. Let's hope that's a more challenging order when it comes to the Grand Prix. The top 15 start on new medium compound tyres. Magnussen and Bottas on hard compound tyres, and Pierre Gasly starts on the soft tyres. So all 3 of them get a showing, and 2 Williams at the back on medium compound tyres. So as I say, the key runners up front are all starting everyone exactly the same idea. They moved the Mercedes back there, keeping the flankets around as long as they can. But then that means you can just lay a little bit of rubber down, and as you pull away on the formation lap to help your start fractionally.
Here we go. We're seconds away from the beginning of the formation lap.
The first corner, we'll see if he does that after after the formation.
One light
It's the
remains.
first time this season that we've had 2x2x2 in terms of the big three on the grid. So, is it team orders at the start for the top three, or are all drivers free to race?
Well, I think without doubt.
And it's 5 o'clock
On the inside,
their time,
maybe concerned with
and
the
it's
players
midnight
trying
our
to
time
championship second place was on the outside.
in Australia.
You can just sweep through much more quickly. The corner is much more open to you in that respect. So
As we get the final formation lap of the year underway.
it's first corner. It's actually quite fast, and you don't really. It's very much single file then until you get down to the bottom of the hill in turn 5, and then down the back track. What we've witnessed in the Formula 2 races is huge amounts of tyre debris, marbles we call them, where they fly off little discarded pieces of rubber, and it's ended up being a bit of a goat track down the back straight with sort of almost one line at a time.
So, 246 days after we began in Bahrain, we get to the final race of the season, the longest season in F1 history, and next year we'll have 2 more races added to the calendar as well, assuming that we do go to China, and we definitely go to Las Vegas. A 24-race season to come next year, and there's confirmation of the starting tyres. No surprises that most
Top 15 standing on new mediums, I think Crofty said. Magnussen, hard, Gasly soft, Bottas hard, and the 2 Williams on mediums.
That's where the pit window will open.
Yeah, you sort of look around and wonder if you've done the wrong thing.
That's up there for now. Oops.
A little bit like Charles Leclerc in qualifying
in.
in Brazil a week ago.
So at least he's not on the intermediates. So there's no chance of rain.
Jeez.
There's the drivers'
Starting to get a bit cold again.
Leclerc is ahead of Perez because he's won more races this season. Russell needs Leclerc and Perez.
So Russell,
He needs to win and
he's
get a
25 points behind Leclerc and Perez. He can still finish second in the Drivers' Championship if he wins with the fastest lap and Perez and Leclerc finish outside of the points. Well, either finish outside the points or they just retire. Which I'm not so sure if I can see that happening. But a lot can happen in a race. As the 2 Red Bulls round the final corner, and they begin to slow up. Start to spin the rear tyres a little bit just to get the rear temp up. As we get ready for the final time in 2022. I'm hoping we don't see too much action because my parents are asleep. I've closed as many doors as possible to try and, so I'm not as loud, but I can't be as loud. Anyway. Okay. There's a few cars remaining. There's the medical car. Here we go. The green flag waves. For one last time in season 2022, the lights are out and we are racing. Who gets the better jump? Sergio gets a good start and he's ahead. No, he's going to try and overtake Max. No, he doesn't. Verstappen gets ahead. And Lando Norris gets in front of who? George, I think it was. They're side by side, 2x2. A couple of spots squabbling further back. And Leclerc gets up the inside of Checo. No, he doesn't. Not quite. And I think Hamilton got ahead of Carlos. I don't know which of the Ferraris is ahead. But I think... So the Ferrari throughout the week has been handing it a straight line. Here comes Carlos Sainz on the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton to the air. Hamilton's in the air. Does that have any damage? Has he got any underfloor damage? Here comes Lando Norris. He's got to have a good run on the Ferrari. Oh, gee whiz. The Alpine and the AlphaTauri going side by side. Here comes George on the inside of Alonso. It's Ocon, at turn 9. And here comes Lewis. Does he think about a move on Sainz? No. Oh no, it's Leclerc, sorry. So as I said, the Ferrari looks to be good. Said it was good in a straight line all weekend. But because they're running lower downforce, it means that they're not going to have the proper downforce in the middle or in the last sector. So I can see Lewis is leaping over the sausage curb, which is not good. Would have had a hard landing. Look at how close the field is. That is insane. So, all relatively clean this time compared to what happened this time last year. So now the Red Bulls are comfortably ahead.
They're obviously looking at science.
And race control won't tell the drivers or the teams to give a place back. It's up to them to sort it out.
I'm not so sure if the Sainz and Hamilton, because Carlos came over the radio and said that exactly the same incident happened between he and Hamilton. I don't think it was exactly that the same, in all honesty, because well, no further investigation necessary for that incident. Look, I get where Carlos is going, but but Hamilton didn't really gain a lasting advantage over that like he did last year. So I get where he's going, but at the same time, I don't think it's exactly the same, because I don't think that sausage curb at the exit of 7 was there last year.
Lewis Hamilton within 7/10 of Charles Leclerc as DRS is now enabled. They are looking to enable that lap earlier.
Get the laptop back up.
You've got to wait 2 laps, 2,000.
Okay, lap 3, DRS is now enabled.
In the opening exchanges, Norris up a place, Russell down a place, Stroll's made up 2 places, Mick Schumacher has lost a couple of places. That midfield has been very, very tight.
Is Checo within the 1 second? No, he isn't. But Lewis is within 1 second of Charles Leclerc. How quickly can he catch up? The Ferrari is quick in a straight line. Oh, Checo did get DRS.
And this could be crucial for Red Bull, Martin. If Verstappen can keep giving DRS advantage to Perez, keeps it further away from Leclerc.
Yeah, Miss Perez is following quite closely and hurting his tyres. They're now looking at Hamilton leaving the track and gaining advantage. I think Lewis, if he...
So Checo's not close to Max for a lunge anyway.
My view, but let's wait and see.
Leaving the track and gaining advantage. They're not. So Lewis has been noted for going the track and gaining an advantage. I wonder what's going to be said about that. So it looks like Checo got the bet.
Perez got away faster than Verstappen. Seems that Verstappen was 400ths of a second quicker on the gas.
So yeah, Checo got a good start. I think both Red Bulls got equal start, and then Lewis got past Carlos, and I think George lost a place to Lando. I wasn't really focusing too much towards the Mercedes, towards P6, P7, but you can see Leclerc sort of having that little look at Checo, and then Lewis, that gifted Lewis the better run. But of course, the Ferraris are quick in a straight line. Yep, so there's Carlos. He hits the apex. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same. Yeah. To be fair, Carlos is in front at that point, so maybe.
Lewis will say he was forced wide. The stewards have now said he wasn't. They're those horrible orange curves. And at this point,
that I don't remember that sausage curve being there at all last year.
To go and let's see what the stewards think about that. Karoon.
2 seconds, Karoon.
Okay, so we've been asked to give the position back to Sainz.
There you go.
Carlos Sainz then ahead of Lewis Hamilton, back up into 4th place. Position has given back.
So that gives Leclerc a bit of breathing space. Checo's lost DRS range to Max, so that's not good news.
We are still discussing, we're still pushing.
Not yet, anyways.
But they managed to make a convincing argument.
That message, we've been told to give the place back. I thought race control were actually saying, no, we're not going to do that this year. You can sort it out yourselves. And we had a situation in Austin, I think, didn't we, with Pierre Gasly, where he actually picked up a penalty. No one told him to give the place back. And the stewards then said, you should have done. You got a penalty for his troubles.
You're right, they did say that. They said, we'll leave it up to you, to be fair, but we'll then make a decision on how you act and react.
So I think Lewis is now going to try and come back at Carlos. So Carlos doesn't have DRS. He's going to be vulnerable. And here comes Lewis. He's going to make Carlos go defensive. He'll have the cleaner side. And is Lewis going to try and set up a switchback? Yeah, he tries. Oh, he got a great run. He'll get him this time. He was behind the white line, which was the detection line. What's going to happen here? No further action for Lewis going off track and gaining a lasting advantage. And he's back ahead of Carlos Sainz. So that was pretty easy work.
No, it was easy as well, wasn't it? So that's a little bit odd, isn't it? No further action leaving the track and gaining advantage. So it must have been the teams making that decision. But then Lewis got a double dose of the drag reduction system, and through he went. And through he went quite easily. And that suggests to me that George Russell is going to do the same reasonably quickly as well.
Russell's ahead of Lando Norris. Two Mercedes making a move on lap 5 of the race and making a move out in front. 2.4 seconds near enough now. The advantage Verstappen has over Perez. He kept him within DRS range for a lap. That has now disappeared. Ted, let's head down to you. Good evening.
And across the hello, Martin, everybody. Yeah, absolutely. This Mercedes is fast today. So Ferrari starting to see the real pace of the silver arrows. They'll be worried about that. We'll see how long it takes for Lewis Hamilton to close on Charles Leclerc and challenge for an overtake. The meantime out front.
But don't forget, if Checo retires, no matter what happens, Leclerc will finish second in the Drivers' Championship. I wish I didn't say that, but I just have to point that out there, that if Checo retires, it'll all be over. Red Bull's hope for a 1-2 in the drivers pretty much out the window. Given that Checo has retired the last two races here in Abu Dhabi. Here comes George. He's a little bit closer to Carlos than what Carlos is to Lewis. He's going to try and make George go around the outside. He tries. Oh, George. He had a good run, but yeah, he had to back out. Not much of an overtaking spot here at turn 12. Cars are too quick to try and make a lunge at turn 12. So almost the best overtaking spots is 5, 6 and 7 and 9. With these kind of cars anyway.
Just change direction in the middle of turn 9.
And what we got from the teams coming into this race was it's a 1 or a 2 stopper.
Lewis is up for the pace, so it doesn't give Sainz DRS. Ferrari just know we can beat them.
Yeah, Russell seeing that Carlos Sainz at less than a second behind Lewis Hamilton is getting a bit of advantage. But this isn't helping George Russell in his attack. Yeah, the team saying it's a 1 or a 2 stopper, and we'll only know that after the first stint or during the first stint. If we get high day, it's going to switch to a 2 stopper, and I get the feeling that the Ferrari is suffering with bigger degradation than the others.
Yeah, but of course that's George pointing out.
But the thing is, Ferrari haven't been good on their tyres all year.
Hamilton so closely that it's keeping him in play.
All year, pretty much. They haven't been good on their. I was talking to my dad throughout the weekend, and we were saying that Ferrari, they've had great pace over one lap, but they just don't have a car that's capable on race day.
George Russell is right there, waiting to feast on the scraps. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel has kept himself nicely in touch with Esteban Ocon. He's currently in 9th. Ocon, as you can see, in 8th place. Vettel's a man to look after his time and pick the right moments.
7 laps in, still 51 to go. We're 7 laps down, as Max is going to cross the line, and it will be 51 laps to go.
The man who's replacing an Aston Martin and his old friend during the first couple of laps. Hamilton went off the track, didn't he, last lap? By quite a way.
I wonder if that could be a warning for track limits. Here's a replay of Mick Schumacher going around the outside of Pierre Gasly. I think Gasly's already starting to struggle with those soft tyres, because they're the softest tyre that they've got. I wonder if that run wide moment for Lewis has given him some body damage underneath the car, because Carlos is staying within the 1 second, and we know how rapid the Ferrari is in a straight line this weekend. Here we go. Is he close enough to make a move? He looks like he's close enough. He's going to make Lewis go defensive. Ooh, literally side by side in the braking zone. He's going to make Lewis do the switchback. Well, Lewis got a good run. He got a good exit. What's he going to do? I don't think there's much Lewis can do, in all honesty. And Carlos goes back through.
From the outside in and takes the place back again. That's now going to leave Lewis.
Whoa, here comes Vettel on Esteban Ocon. And he's up the inside. Oh, a little bit wide. He's hung up on the curb. He got hung up on the curb. He's still trying to fight. He can't quite. So he just got hung up on that outside curb.
Meanwhile, it's Hamilton starting to struggle a bit with his tyres, so is there a bit too much downforce on that Mercedes, so their top speed has been compromised.
And Lewis couldn't put away, could he? I was surprised by that. I don't even have enough pace to, once he got past Sainz, to put away. Certainly, given the ease with which he passed him.
What's going on? You're free to race.
So now Mercedes are free to race.
If anything's happening with Lewis, but you're free to race suggests that there isn't much happening, and you're going to have to get the overtake done yourself, George. That's the message coming in from the Mercedes pit wall from Riccardo Mosconi, his teammate, his race engineer, I should say. Is George Russell going to get this done right now? Is he going to make the move on Lewis Hamilton? He's certainly going to try. Hamilton just preserves that inside line, but let's see the exit that Russell gets out of the chicane now. Turn 9 is already...
Oh, he's all over his gearbox. Here comes Josh. He should be able to get past Lewis here. I think Lewis has got a problem. Since he ran wide at turn 1, it's either he's suffering from... He's either suffering from some sort of damage underneath the car, or he's cooked his tyres already. Which I kind of find hard to believe, in all honesty, if you know what I'm saying.
Leclerc 3 seconds behind in third place, running a lonely race. Sainz has pulled away from the two Mercedes. And we can see once again how George Russell made that move on Lewis Hamilton.
So two fairly easy moves from Carlos and George on Lewis.
With the DRS. Kareem Chandok at race control. What have you got for us?
Yeah, Lewis has been having his conversation. They're trying a couple of different engine modes. But at the moment, they don't yet have a full solution. So, yeah, not good news for him.
Last lap for Lewis Hamilton was 1:32.2.
So Checo's continuously... Oh no, sorry, Charles is continuously losing time to Checo, but Checo's not losing as much time to Max. You know, it's sort of hanging around that 2.3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 2.7 seconds now. As long as he stays close enough to Max, and he continues to pull away from Leclerc, he might be able to avoid an undercut threat. But look, that's for later in the race. Here comes Leclerc. Oh no, sorry, Seb. Sorry. Oh god. Here comes Seb. He's gonna try and go around the outside. Maybe set up a switchback. No, he can't quite. It's a tricky place to try and do a switchback at turn 9 because you're either on the inside or you're on the outside for turn 12. It's really not a place you want to go side by side for, honestly.
Or, possibly, or whether a sensor or something got damaged, because that's a massive shock blow going into the very solid chassis. What can you tell us, Ted?
It certainly was a shock blow. It would have been a shock blow going through Lewis Hamilton's spine as well. But Mercedes say that they can't see any damage either physically on the TV pictures like you can or on the telemetry. So that's on the damage. And the power loss, they say, is just low on energy, on battery, after using it all defending from George Russell on Hamilton's car. It's seen as ostensibly a problem. But let's see in a lap or two, because that is a slightly alarming loss of lap time, wasn't it? 2 seconds behind the others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that is an alarm, right? He's 2 seconds behind George at the moment, and he's like, what, nearly 4 seconds behind Carlos. So that's a dramatic drop in pace.
3 visits of the very different guises, of course. Renault to start with, 03 and 06, 08 and 09, and Alpine. He's going to wave goodbye to the team that he won his 2 world championships with, and would dearly love to reward them. With a decent performance here tonight, but at the moment he's just hanging back a little bit. Can't quite match the speed of Sebastian Vettel, who can't quite get ahead and stay ahead of Esteban Ocon.
So what they're saying there with Lewis Hamilton is he to in defence. He's got to charge it up.
The pace is good. The is also lower than expected.
Carlos was told that Deg is lower than expected. He does not agree.
Which happens though, Martin.
Straight away, he said, "I don't
He's
agree."
obviously feeling that they're beginning to go away quite quickly, but Sainz 9.6 seconds off the lead. I mean, as Ted said, in many respects, Red Bull have checked out and are in management mode. Long way to go yet, of course, at 47 laps to be precise. But they look so racy, Mercedes there for a while, so racy, and it's suddenly fallen away from them.
And all of a sudden, Checo's lost a second to, nearly a second to Max.
The hairpin once more. Ocon, Vettel, Alonso. Right behind comes Tsunoda. Right on his tail, you can see Lance Stroll is beginning to join in on the action as well. Stroll can get an overtake done. And then Fernando Alonso is the next man on the road. And we know what happened the last time we see got close to each other in Austin. It didn't end well, really, for either of them. Although, of course, Fernando did go on to finish the race. Sliding out the chicane there was Esteban Ocon. His tyres
Looks like Ocon's struggling for tyres as well. Because here comes Seb. He's a lot closer this time. Surely he'll try and get the move done. He's gonna have to go the long way around to do it. If he can hang around the outside, he'll have the inside for 12, but he can't. Ocon still somehow holding on to, what is it? 8.
And take to the painted area, keeping the 2 tyres on the road, because I don't think he's got enough grip or speed to take the extra meters around the outside of turn 9.
To lap 13 there, 4.1 seconds the gap between Verstappen and Perez. Perez in second place, but that's good enough to take the runners-up spot in the championship if it stays like this. Meanwhile, let's have a listen and a look at Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, he's already then got 2 warnings for track limits. There's the second
He's
one.
gone wide again.
After the third, you get a warning. The next one will be the black and white flag.
So,
and you keep doing it.
from what it looks like already, Lewis is literally struggling right now.
Yeah, so as Alex Albon pits for the first time. What's he saying? Yeah, 2 seconds.
I agree with Lewis. There's something wrong with that car. Because that car just doesn't look like the way it was at the start of the race when it was getting past Carlos.
Another team who's loving this, as well as Aston Martin challenging the Alpines, is McLaren. Because what it's allowing Lando Norris to do is to look after his tyres, consider his strategy options. He's in a bit of a nowheresville. He's 3 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton and 3 seconds in front of Esteban Ocon. So this is working out well.
And once again, Vettel is behind Ocon for another lap.
7th in the championship, that's where he will finish in the championship. Esteban Ocon is 8th, can't catch him. And he's, with the amount of 7th place finishes he's had this season, and it could be 7 at the end of tonight. He said he's considering changing his number on his car from 4 to 7 for next year. Whether it's lucky 7 or not, not quite sure.
And Tsunoda's hanging on to this battle for AlphaTauri. Hamilton 2 strikes, as we were talking about, on his track limits. And I would say Alonso looking fairly menacing there. He'll just be babysitting his tyres as much as he can.
Lance Stroll pits. He was just getting to the back of that Ocon, Vettel, Alonso, Tsunoda quartet. Stroll's come in for an early pit stop, I think, to give him some free air, bring him back out onto the track, so he's not behind a whole load of other cars. But it's very clear that Esteban Ocon is kind of the cork in the bottle at the moment. Vettel has pace, but can't quite get ahead. And Alonso is very, very close now to the back of Sebastian Vettel. And if Lando Norris is doing well, McLaren need his teammate Daniel Ricciardo to be up there in the points as well. Otherwise, they'll never overtake Alpine in the Constructors' Championship. So we're on board with Fernando Alonso. And just getting away better, I think, down to that chicane is the Aston Martin of
And
Sebastian Vettel.
looking at the leaderboard, all of a sudden Checo's losing time so much. I reckon he's used up all of the gas out of his tyres, because Leclerc's only 1.3 seconds behind, and it's dropping dramatically.
Too far back to make a move.
Yeah, Fernando Alonso was staying well out of the slipstream there, presumably keeping his car a little bit cooler while he waits his turn. He's a wily old fox, and he knows there's a long way to go.
Let's head down with Max Verstappen nearly 6 seconds clear out in front now to Crew. Oh,
His pace take a little fluffy, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking into that, mate.
We are so smooth.
I'm going to say, that's Esteban Ocon diving into the pits. That'll help Sebastian Vettel and probably Fernando Alonso too. Karun at Sky Race Control.
Yeah, Crofty, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Alonso, they would have had an opportunity. Ocon was one struggling at pace. They could have used Alonso to undercut both of them. But they're clearly sticking with the plan of whoever's in front gets first dibs on the strategy. That will not be society, will it?
No, although they've been told to behave themselves for the last race and this race before they go their separate ways. They were very stern about that, were Alpine. Out onto the track, Ocon comes out behind Latifi in the Williams.
Oh, he nearly went off the road, almost like Jack Doohan did in the F2 race. And Jack lost his tyre.
Aston Martin team next year, so I think they're gonna give preference to the man that's staying with them.
And after those pit stops, Ocon comes out on the hard compound tyre. Lance Stroll also on the hard. We're entering the pit window now, and George Russell complaining of a lack of grip on his front tyres. Max Verstappen,
He's literally checked out.
At the moment, he's that far ahead.
And Checo's into the pits.
Sergio Perez has pitted though. That is an earlier stop for Red Bull. Maybe they've come off the threats of Ferrari trying to undercover. Hard tyres going on once again for Perez and the Red Bull.
Yeah, and apparently Lewis, Karun Lewis is on the phone saying, my tyres are getting better. So, even though the rest of them are depending on the balance.
George is into the pits. Slow stop though, 5.3 seconds.
After Sergio Perez, George Russell, Lando Norris, Joe Guan Yu, all making pit stops. Russell's particularly slow there, 5.2 seconds stationary time for George Russell.
Yeah, Mercedes apparently come out into the pit lane and got back in momentarily when Russell was coming in. So it seems as if he turned up slightly unexpected as Sebastian Vettel gets his.
But hey, here we go. So Checo's already passed Alonso and he's got to pass Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel, they're not really in a fight with that Red Bull.
Oop. Oops, he's made a mistake, Checo.
Put up too much of a scrap.
Perez outbraked himself when he was there.
Yeah, braked himself on a cold tyre. And it's going to cost him big time. So this might be an opportunity for Ferrari, unless they want to go longer.
To stay behind Perez, that's exactly what has happened there, which might give Vettel just a little bit of respite, because Alonso, the man directly in a fight with Vettel in this race, now got Red Bull ahead of him.
Yeah, and that's hurt Sergio Perez's afternoon because he is still in a fight with the Ferraris, and he's going to lose time now getting through this pack.
Out in front, the top three yet to pit, top four yet to pit. Perez, the man in fifth.
So what's happened to George? What's the reason for the 5-second stop? Front too good? Something on the rear. Oh, probably with the right rear. I don't think they got that off. Alright, so, oh, that's an unsafe release. That's going to be a 5-second penalty coming George Russell's way. Guaranteed. And here comes Checo Perez. This time, he gets ahead of Sebastian Vettel. It's Ferrari telling Carlos to box.
Unfortunately, and the right rear looked like it was late on arrival, or something was going on with the right rear of Russell's car, so a very long stop. They released it.
So Checo tyres should be up to temperature by now.
No doubt about it, he impeded the McLaren.
So is Checo going to be able to stay ahead of Carlos Sainz? Is he becoming into pits? No, I don't think he has. I think he stayed out. Oh no, he's in.
Now comes into the pits after being told to do so by his Ferrari team, and we are on lap 18 of this race. If you're just joining us, and you want to watch the highlights alongside the live action, Sky Q and Sky Glass customers can press their red button. The red Ferrari.
So there is Checo, and he should be comfortably ahead.
Going through Vettel and Alonso, who haven't pitted. George Russell going past our commentary box right now. Let's see where Perez comes out in relation to where Sainz comes out in relation to George Russell. Sainz on the track comfortably ahead of the Mercedes.
and comfortably ahead of Daniel Ricciardo.
The track's effectively, it's an anti-clockwise circuit. The pits are effectively on the outside of the track, so you duck underneath the track and feed out at very high speed in turn 3 of the lap.
Here goes Fernando Alonso on Sebastian Vettel. I wonder how long you can put up that.
And there's George getting past Daniel
George
Ricciardo.
Russell making a move past Daniel Ricciardo, who hasn't pitted yet. Russell just set the fastest lap of the race on those fresh new hard compound tyres. They're on board once again with Fernando Alonso. Then heading into turn 9, you can see the blinking, flashing lights on the rear of the Aston Martin as it harvests energy, recovers energy, and tops up the battery, ready for more deployment. Lewis Hamilton is coming into the pits. Let's head down that way to Ted Kravitz.
And they're going to want to have a look at this quite closely because there's getting some indications that actually Lewis's floor might be broken. Lewis feels on the radio that he has got some damage from that incident early on when he clocked over the curb. You pick up the pit stop properly, and well, you can see it here. It's a little bit far away from me to see. Seems that that's better than Russell's. That's much better. A little pat on the shoulder.
Under investigation, George Russell for that unsafe pit release. Wouldn't be surprised.
Which is damaged and costing him that time.
It would be surprising, would it, if there were some streaks? If there was some streaks or some fixing underneath the Mercedes after that little aerial activity.
Names of the crew on the wheel rims there, I think. Fernando Alonso looking in his mirrors. The reason he's doing that is Carlos Sainz is right behind him. Sainz, who was pitted onto the hard compound tyre.
And there is Carlos getting past Alonso. I want to get past Vettel into turn 9.
Sebastian Vettel, next driver ahead of
However, the exit for Carlos wasn't great.
So Sainz has DRS once again with Fernando Alonso too. I have to say, this is a super performance in the opening stages here by Sebastian Vettel. Trying to get past Esteban Ocon, didn't make it stick. But his pace is definitely good at the moment. And he's just rolling back the years and producing one.
Whoa, Carlos, do not even think about going for that move. That is not a place you go side by side through.
And of course, this is for position, it's not for lapping, so he's entitled to fight Sainz every metre of the way. Fernando Alonso is the only driver of the front runners, shall we say, who's got a brand new set. Well, front runners.
Anderson. All of this.
They start fourth as well, don't they? But at least the tyres.
Alonso's into the pits. They're looking to undercut Sebastian.
As Perez does the new fastest lap of the race. And so up front, Verstappen and Leclerc 7.3 seconds apart, have not pitted.
And 2.4 seconds stationary for Fernando Alonso. Sebastian Vettel still keeping Carlos Sainz at bay. This isn't exactly helping Carlos Sainz's race at the moment with George Russell.
So if Carlos gets past Vettel here, Seb might get a good dose of DRS on the back straight, and that might be the time to come into the pits. And it might, and I'm saying it just might, keep him ahead of Fernando. So he'll be within 1 second of the detection line. Watch that rearing open. It is. This might be a good time for for Seb to pit. And they're telling Max to box. Box and pick and fan. He's into the pits. Will be a brand new set of hard tyres. Absolutely no rush. Charles Leclerc takes the lead.
A slightly longer pit stop than you'd normally expect for Red Bull, but safely the 4 tyres are on and he can get back out into this race once more as Lance Stroll moves up into 11th place. Verstappen will come out behind Leclerc and ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez, not by much, but by enough. Ted, let's head down to you.
So Aston Martin, no response from them to Sebastian.
No, they stayed out. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure if that was the right call to leave Seb out. So now I think they're going to be behind.
So Vettel will certainly be fitted now, come out well behind Ocon. I think he's going to lose the place to Fernando Alonso as well. So well, let's see what they do, and I wouldn't be surprised if they
5-second penalty for George for an unsafe release. I'm not surprised about that.
George Russell, this man, has just overtaken Sebastian Vettel. has a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe release, and that should come as no surprise, but to bit of disappointment for our main Grand Prix winner in Sao Paulo 7 days ago.
Yeah, it's frustrating for the driver, isn't it? He did make a mistake on the pit stop, and you can't, when the lights go, you've got to exit your pit box. You can't try to second guess all of that. So the driver takes the pain for the team, but you win together, you lose together.
Longest stint, by the way, on the hard compound tyre at the last year's race was 44 laps, and for Lewis Hamilton, that helps.
And there was a bit of a slow stop for Leclerc as well. 3 seconds. And there go the two bulls.
Behind Verstappen and behind Perez, so it hasn't worked out for him in the opening stint. He needs to be ahead of Sergio Perez to get that runners-up spot. I just wonder if Sebastian Vettel is going to come in a few moments' time. He had a bit of DRS when George Russell overtook him. It's helped give him a bit of pace.
Here comes Carlos.
Potentially go to the end of this race on the set of hard tyres and make it a one-stop race. Whilst others have pitted before him. Oh, it's right on the tail here of Charles Leclerc, his teammate. Those tyres.
Come on, Carlos, make a lunch.
Been on for a few laps now on Carlos Sainz's Ferrari, and I'm sure these two are free to race as well. He's got that DRS as Carlos Sainz. Is he going to make a bit down the inside? No, he thought about it, but thought against it.
Leclerc's tyres 4 laps younger now, but with Russell and his penalty and Hamilton struggling, these two are really starting to fight. This is about the final place on the podium, isn't it?
It's certainly looking good for Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, though. Mercedes need to outscore them by 20 points tonight, and they're definitely not doing that at the moment. With George Russell fifth with a 5-second penalty, and Lewis Hamilton down to 7th. This was Max Verstappen, and his pit stop. Left rear was the one I think that was causing a few of the issues.
If you watch the team members brushing with a glove across the front wing, that's to clear the slot gaps out between the elements. To clear the slot gaps out of
What time is it? 12:37.
otherwise the wing doesn't function properly.
That's George Russell getting there past Sebastian Vettel, who's one of the trio of drivers yet to pit in this race. I thought he might be coming in to the pits because his lap times are round about 3 seconds slower than those around him, but nothing doing yet down at Aston Martin.
And if Russell doesn't hit again, they'll just add 5 seconds on to his elapsed time at the end of the Grand Prix, of course.
He certainly will. Yet to pit to Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen. From Verstappen now just 1.8 seconds ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez. It was an awful first round of pit stops, but Perez did the undercut, and that worked out for him at this stage of the race. There's Fernando Alonso, finds himself behind Yuki Tsunoda.
And there's Lewis getting past Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel. And up into
I think what they're thinking at Aston Martin is that they're relying on fresher tyres. They're hoping to have more grip towards the end of the race. Here is Alonso, I think, 3 wide into turn 7. And thankfully, I think they all get through relatively clean. Although it might get a little bit hairy again at turn 9. Because Alonso is not going to get DRS. He's going to be vulnerable to Tsunoda. And he's going to be vulnerable to Valtteri Bottas. And he doesn't lose, he only loses the 1 spot to Tsunoda. So he's going to stay behind one car for a little bit longer than what he would have hoped for.
That was it. So otherwise, Esteban Ocon on the other side of the Alpine garage going pretty well. 4 seconds now behind Norris.
Thank you very much.
George, we have a 5-second penalty for unsafe release. So that's the Serbia the next pit stop.
Right, if we want to take 5-second penalty, we need to get a lock.
To maybe put a set of softs on at the end to try and get some overtaking done. That's indeed as if George Russell is going to stop again.
But the thing is, the softs aren't going to last very long.
Yeah, I was going to say that does sound like he's going to pit again. Just to confirm what you were speculating, Coffee, about Vettel, I do think they are going for that 1 stop. He's currently set that the front time are still okay. He's struggling with the rears. But if you look at their track position, he's 5 seconds ahead of Ocon, and they've both got 1 stop to go effectively, haven't they? So, yeah, I think you're right. I think it could be a 1 stop there they're aiming for.
Let's see what transpires with that. Can Fernando Alonso get past Yuki Tsunoda? This is a track where Alonso has been frustrated behind a potentially slower car in the past.
He doesn't want to get past him there, though, does he? Because he needs the detection point here, and then to pass him with the rear wing open. He passes him on the way into that chicane. He'll get mugged again down to turn 9.
And he took your advice and he took it well there, Martin Brundle.
Hmm.
Fernando Alonso moves up into 11th place and finally does get past Yuki Tsunoda. You'll remember the heartbreak with Alonso here, stuck behind Vitaly Petrov, and his World Championship slipping away. Sebastian Vettel took the lead of the World Championship at the final race for the first time that season and won his title.
And that is why they introduced DRS, because Petrov was able to hold Alonso up for the entire race.
Lando Norris is the next to get past Sebastian Vettel, who might be struggling with his tyres a little bit. But every time he keeps getting overtaken into that chicane, he then gets DRS on the next straight, which helps his pace a little bit. Usher here, one of a number of superstars from the sport and entertainment world that have come to Abu Dhabi this year.
Next that, and as in Brazil and before, Lando really pulls the gears fast into a corner. He's got the engine singing.
We're just getting eaten up by everybody. Who's next to us? But watch it, Sebastian. These are two stoppers.
Yeah, and the trouble is, he's 32, 133s. That's for him a good 1.5 seconds off the pace, and you're not very many laps before you win a pit stop, a free pit stop, are you at that range?
That's true. Daniel Ricciardo in 16th place, down in 16th place for Daniel Ricciardo, but making some overtakes and having a bit of fun. Now Mick Schumacher might fancy trying to get after his teammate Kevin Magnussen. They both got DRS here. Mick Schumacher trying to prove that he should still be in Formula 1 next season and makes a lovely move on Kevin Magnussen going into turn 9. So it just seems at the moment there's the majority of that field are all out there looking at a two-stop race. Apart from Sebastian Vettel, who, not for the first time in his career, is doing it a different way. Finally, though, Ted Kravitz is coming towards you in the pit.
Nearly halfway through the race.
Doing it his way. Well, actually, his way, because it was a bit earlier, but I think this is the earliest they can stop to try to make a one-stop work. Oh, it's a little bit slow on the right rear. That's lost a second, but not so bad by the extra.
Not a great stop.
And he's away on the hard tyre. Let's see if he can make this one-stop work.
That's lost more than 1 second. Smoke there. Is that really good? So,
I'd say he had to suddenly kill some speeds if he was still in the lane speed limiter zone. But is that Sebastian Vettel's last ever Formula 1 pit stop?
unless we get a safety car, one would suggest so. It probably won't be the one he remembers as fondly as some others. He's come out now behind Pierre Gasly. He's probably stationary for about a second and a half longer than he really wanted. Let's see what he can do from there. You can see him in the background as Pierre Gasly makes the move on Kevin Magnussen and up into 17th place.
Oh, look up from Gasly. Did he make the corner? Just. But he might get mugged by K-Mag on the run to turn 9.
Yeah, the hard time, they only get 2
Yep,
seconds.
here we go.
Entire
He'll
Grand
defend,
Prix
he'll
minutes.
defend. He'll force K-Mag to go the outside.
Every single one of them.
And Gasly holds position.
20 cars still running.
And Max Verstappen
Or does he?
managing the pace rather nicely as we see this battle carrying on between Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen. Racing for fun, these two, and enjoying themselves an awful lot, I think, out that track. Karun Chan looked out to you.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton's nowadays have stabilised a bit on this harder tyre that he's put on 8 laps ago. He does seem happy with it as we look at this was Vettel, wasn't it, into the tunnel properly. Had a it's actually
Just a
I
bit
think he-
of tyres locked up.
No, but I think he had to hit the brakes. I think he was over speeding when he did that. If we could just see his dashboard, have a look back at his dashboard. I think he might have been over speeding the 80 kilometres per hour, 50 miles an hour.
Interesting. Charles Leclerc catching Sergio Perez. 6 laps, he might be in striking distance. Karun, back to you.
Yeah, just to finish up that point, I think that they're obviously managing Russell's pace, but Lewis is staying within that 5 seconds of George Russell. It's sort of stabilised in the 4.2, 4.3 second gap.
Absolutely.
I'd honestly love to know where I put my hoodie, because I could have sworn I brought a hoodie out, but I do not know where I put it.
This lap has taken 4/10 out of Perez in the first sector. He might need his teammate to pick up the pace a little bit to enable him to pick up the pace.
I wondered if it was the opposite to that, actually, whether he needs Verstappen to drop back again, just to give him the DRS and pull him clear of the Ferraris for a second time.
2 seconds, the gap between Verstappen and Perez. Don't forget, Max
Well, Leclerc is
Verstappen
catching
getting
Perez because he is on that pressure tyre.
this evening. That would tie the Prost and Senna total. The pair of them won in that legendary 1988 season for McLaren. And it would be by 2 on the checkered flag. The most wins in a season.
Alonso into the pits again?
Alonso pitting and
What?
retiring.
Oh dear, oh dear. Not the way to end the season for Fernando. Oh, you have got to be joking.
With the Enstone team and finishes it off by being pushed into the garage as our first retirement this evening. That is a real shame for him.
A key for the fight between McLaren and Alpine, of course, but
What is the gap between McLaren and Alpine anyway going into this race?
We need a 4th and a 6th to go above Alpine, is what Andreas Seidel told me today. They've got a 7th and a 13th at the moment. Meanwhile, here comes Sebastian Vettel. Haven't said that for a while. And there he goes. Into the corner, ahead of Pierre Gasly.
21 points. Okay.
Managed to still get off the brake to rotate the car into the apex.
Bottas is struggling a bit for pace out there. Mick Schumacher just swooped around the outside of him.
Charles Leclerc set the fastest lap.
In the Haas.
2 drivers haven't pitted yet, and that is Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen.
Which might explain why Schumacher was a little bit quicker than his teammate. It might explain why Valtteri Bottas was struggling for pace a touch as well. So they're definitely going for the one stopper there. 4 of the final 7 races in 2022, Fernando Alonso has failed to get to the checkered flag. Real shame for him. And this is Sebastian Vettel making a very nice move on Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, you could see in unison the puff of brake dust of the carbon brakes, just as they were both trying to keep positional.
I think Checo would really love Max to just back off so he can give him some DRS.
4.8 seconds off the lead. He's keeping the Red Bulls in view, isn't he?
Yeah. He's on that last lap was 0.8 of a second faster.
Yeah, I've been turned up by Max. Copy.
I think that's Sergio saying, come on, Max, pick up the pace here. I know you're protecting your tyres, you're doing a bit of tyre management, you'd like to get to the end of the race and maybe not have to stop again, but I need you to go quicker.
Yeah, so what he's saying is he's sliding around more in the invisible but turbulent air, and that rather than the DRS helping us, well, 6-7 tenths per lap you get DRS down both zones, but he's saying I'm losing more sliding around. So would you ask him to get on with it?
And the Ferraris, with the harder tyre on, looking at a much livelier animal once again.
Yeah, good point.
As they were in Sao Paulo, to be honest. And maybe, Carl does tend to overwork his tyres, overheat his tyres a little bit when you put the harder one on. The penalty is not quite so severe. Perez is going through the emotions that Nico Rosberg might have gone through here back in 2016, when he would
I wouldn't be surprised.
his teammate that night, so got a bit of a move on. Well, 1 or 2? That's the question. The teams might have made their mind up, but they've got plenty of time to change it should they need to. Should we get a late safety car, for instance, in this race?
That's what they'll be nervous of, is obviously depending where they are on track exactly as to whether they've got any tyre left at the end of the Grand Prix.
Valtteri Bottas has gone 30 laps into this race.
Your mistake from Bottas. These tyres are almost cooked, I reckon.
As he locks up under pressure from Sebastian Vettel. He's now got Pierre Gasly making the exit out of that chicane to try and make it 2 places that he's lost in the space of one back.
There you go, 2 for the price of 1.
Gasly and Bottas 16 and 17 and 10. Let's head down to you.
Down at Alpine, where the news seems to be that there's some sort of leak, of water leak is suspected. They saw on the telemetry the water level going down, the engine would have virtually failed and that's why they had to call Fernando in. He apparently, as you were saying, he didn't reply. That kind of reflects his views on the unreliability of Alpine throughout the season. He feels it's cost him nearly 70 points, and there would have been some more today. So yeah, since he came back to Formula One, the reunion with Renault and then Alpine, it's ended this way in retirement. Sad for all parties concerned.
And it means that Fernando Alonso has been beaten by Esteban Ocon during the course of this season. I'll tell you more about that in a moment as Daniel Ricciardo now manages to get past the Alfa Romeo Joe Guan Yu. Valtteri Bottas has come into the pits. Alonso has only ever been beaten in a season by Jenson Button in 2015, Lewis Hamilton in 2007, and Tarso Marquez at Minardi in 2001. The only previous times he's been beaten by his teammate this season. I've never mentioned Tarso Marquez in a commentary ever before. And I don't think I will again.
I was surprised when I read that stat. Shaquille O'Neal there, watching on, enjoying the Grand Prix. That's the fourth time that Fernando Alonso has dropped out this year with a water leak or a reported water leak.
I don't want to be too early.
So I think Mercedes are thinking about a second stop. I don't, even if they do pit without a virtual or a full safety car, I just don't think that they can win, even if they pit under green flag.
And Charles Leclerc has tyres under the 6 laps pressure. Looking at a very good position, Charles Leclerc, certainly coming to the end of the stint too, where Perez might be struggling a bit more than the Ferrari, and the Ferrari certainly has pace. The gap down to 2 seconds now, and closing all the while 3/10 on this particular lap. Leclerc's taken out of Perez's advantage. We're down to 1.7 seconds. And sooner or later, he's going to get some DRS, and then it could get very, very harem-scarum for Sergio Perez. And for Red Bull. The thing is, Martin, a runner-up in the Drivers' Championship, but Red Bull really want that one too, to cement what has been an incredible season for them.
Yeah, very dominant season. Max, he's putting personal bests in out front, but he's obviously playing the long game with his tyres. And yeah, Leclerc's very, very close to getting into DRS zone. 4.3 covers the top 3 drivers.
So, all is still available on that one. And out in front, all looking very nice for Max Verstappen. Behind him, it's going to get quite feisty soon, I think. George Russell, meanwhile, has just put in a personal best and the best overall first sector in the race. Behind Carlos Sainz currently, but looking to go long onto this stint before he has that 5-second penalty either at the end of the race or for his pit stop.
Yeah, and you can see Hamilton's closing in on Russell, if anything. Just down to 2.5 seconds now.
Looks like whenever a problem Lewis has had, it looks like
penalty,
it's not much of a problem.
At some point, and it sounds as if they're absolutely certain they're coming in again before the end of the Grand Prix. And they said we will have to serve that at the next stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder what's going on inside of Red Bull.
Time management going on elsewhere.
Fox was it Red Bull?
So what they're saying to Charles Leclerc is if Sergio Perez pits, stay out. And I think they're just, looking to see what Red Bull are going to do, and they are making quite a late call here on Sergio Perez and pitting him. So Leclerc will stay. He could do. He's got 6 laps fresher tyres on that Ferrari. Perez pitting because he's been running a little bit closer to his teammate Max Verstappen. That might not have helped his tyres in that second stint. So with 34 laps to go in this race,
24.
second pit stop, and he's going to come out.
24 left to go. We're on lap 34, genius.
There is Lando Norris going into turn 1. Perez comfortably then clear. They found a really nice gap for him to pit into.
And it should help him undercut and stay in front of Leclerc as well. Well, it will help him undercut.
Well, if it doesn't make a mistake.
Tyres, but we'll see how that plays out at the end. So 24 laps to go. And
the thing is, they can wait 6 laps, can't they, for Ferrari?
yeah.
With Charles Leclerc, then pit him, and then he can really push to the end. rather than, trying to manage it a bit in that middle stint. And Ted, let's head down to you.
Yeah, so this fight for P2, the drivers, as even though Mercedes look like they're not going to overturn Ferrari in the constructors, is still on with Leclerc, isn't it? That's a bit early for Perez. That's a good 3 or 4 laps earlier than the earliest bit in the pit window we were told by Pirelli that the second stops would happen. So Perez is going to have to really treat them kindly, otherwise he's going to be vulnerable to Leclerc, as you've been saying, at the end of the race.
Okay, Max, so we need increased tyre management. Increased tyre management, please.
No, mate, they are catching. What do you want me to do? Like, they cannot get close.
You are 4 tenths faster than Leclerc in sector 2. And that middle sector is where Red Bull have been very strong throughout this weekend. Is that Red Bull now thinking we're going to switch to a one-stopper for Max Verstappen?
Possibly. Well, I think what they're saying is you're taking 4 tenths out of the Ferrari, so you're obviously taking more life out of your tyre. Ooh, close against the wall there.
Cool.
Can't have a straight pit stop. He's dropped back down. He's running 12th, isn't he?
So on the quick switch, show us your pushing level.
Silence last bit of the season, I'm hanging around, put it hard Leclerc.
We'll call that a 5 then, if there's 5 to choose from on his button to talk to the pits without talking to the pits, as it were. But yeah, for me, I read that radio call as a realization from Max Verstappen and the team that Ferrari are right in the hunt, all of a sudden.
And Karun, you've been monitoring the team radio. What else did we hear?
Well, at exactly the same moment, both Leclerc and Verstappen's engineers told their drivers, we could be switching to one stop and going to the end. So let's think about your tyre management. So I don't think they're committed either way, but they are hedging their bets here because the Ferrari does seem much happier on hard tyre.
And we have track conditions that are cooling all the time as well. So switching away to the higher degradation at the start of the race and getting a bit cooler as it goes on.
Oh, Jesus, Danny.
Right down the inside there.
There was nearly contact between he and Albon.
We saw what happened in Mexico when he dived down the inside on an unsuspecting Yuki Tsunoda and they came together. This time around, with Ricciardo and Albon, they managed to keep apart. But this is, well, for McLaren, they need to start clearing a few cars here. Norris is 7th, Ricciardo out of the points. One Alpine car is out of the races. Albon now pits.
Question, can you keep this pace with plan C?
Yeah, Sargent.
Okay, copy that.
Logan Sargent, welcome to Formula 1 for next season. He's got his super license points, enough of them, and he'll take the seat vacated by Nicholas.
So maybe they figure they can stay out for Leclerc to the end of the race. Maybe.
That's Leclerc saying, I can take these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix if I have to. If Sainz is in tyre management mode for a one-stopper, he's going very fast with it.
Verstappen to Perez, the gap 23.8 seconds. So he could pit and still come out ahead of his teammate, which would probably be better for his teammate because he can then try and drag him out of a threat from a Ferrari behind. But maybe Red Bull are thinking more about a one-stopper here. Verstappen's pace is still in the 129s. The only other driver in the top 6 in the 129s is his teammate Sergio Perez.
And look, we were talking, and Lewis wasn't happy with his car. But suddenly, on these tyres, he's faster than his teammate, right? He's catching his teammate, must be said, is Lewis Hamilton. So, whatever it was, it seems to have gone away a bit on hard tyres.
Which is good to hear. Karun and Sky Race Control, what's some more team radio news for us?
Yeah, Sergio Perez has been told he's 18 seconds behind Leclerc because although you mentioned the gap to Verstappen, for the World Championship second place,
2 seconds.
Expecting Leclerc to go to the end. Give it a minute.
yeah, exactly that. They've now given Perez the job of catching 18 seconds and passing 4 cars on track if he wants to get second place. He has, of course, got tyres which are 12 laps fresher than Leclerc. That's a tall order.
That's a little catch that amount, I don't know. I mean, yes, this current pace, but if Leclerc starts really struggling in the last handful of laps, it'll be an easy target. He's got to get there first.
Is that magical way that the strategists have, Martin, of predicting how much performance is lost in the closing stages before it actually happens, which invariably they get right.
And given the fact that Russell or both Mercedes are on older tyres than Max and Charles,
Any kind of safety car or virtual safety car, though, would play right into Ferrari's hands on that one.
That's the risk that you take by doing that contra strategy. You're absolutely right on that one. All to play for here. We're on lap 38 out of 58. If you're just joining us for the finale, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix 2022, and you haven't seen the action so far, well, press your red button. You're a Sky Q or a Sky Glass customer, and you can watch the highlights alongside the live action. We are live on board with Lewis Hamilton at the moment to sustain a bit of damage. He's been to his car going over the curve on the outside of this corner here on the first lap. Entangled with Carlos Sainz, was reporting as well that all was not right with this engine. But in the last few laps, things have got a lot better for him.
And he's got DRS on Russell as well now.
Yeah,
He's got his rear wing open down these two straights. As Russell, you can see the red lights flickering away as he's charging the battery up. And got a white line through turn 9, possibly a little easier on the tyres through there, but in this phase of the Grand Prix, it's the Hamilton Mercedes that looks fastest.
Ted, let's head down to you.
So before this Hamilton-Russell thing gets interesting, let me tell you about Sebastian Vettel, where I know you can see he's 13th behind Zhou Guanyu, but it's actually going pretty well. He's quicker than Zhou Guanyu by at least half a second per lap. He's closing in on the Sauber driver, and he's got Zhou, Riccardo Sonoda, and his teammate Lance Stroll, who are all solid two-stoppers. I don't think they pitted so early, they can't clearly. We're going to struggle to make...
oh, Latifi and is that Mick? It is. That's turn 5. They've all got away. So no safety car.
I wonder who was trying to make a move on who and who caused that one, but Latifi certainly got damage to his left rear tyre. As through the back here comes Charles Leclerc with DRS. You can see the Williams going very slow and keeping out of the way. So that could have been that safety car, Martin, that you were talking about, but it's not.
Yeah. So when they said to Leclerc, do whatever he doesn't, so Perez pitted, so they immediately at that moment switched to a one-stopper in the Ferrari. So they pushed Red Bull and Perez into covering off.
And here's Lewis Hamilton on George Russell going into turn 9. George Russell at the moment, I know the Mercedes drivers are free to race here. Mercedes could do with Hamilton being let past a little bit because he is clearly the faster of those two cars. Perez having a lap time deleted. He doesn't want to be doing too many of those because the black and white flag could be coming his way or a potential penalty if it keeps happening.
And Russell learns at the vids, they'll have to serve like 5 seconds. That's Carlos Sainz into the pits as well.
So Sainz pitting, Russell pitting, and the crews will get to work at Mercedes in 5 seconds time. So that's Carlos Sainz. Not to think too much about where George Russell is when he makes this exit. Sainz will come out behind Sergio Perez, but will George Russell come out behind Lando Norris?
I think he is. He might even be behind Ocon.
So yes, that will happen. Sainz there. Sainz will come out behind Lando Norris as well. So Norris now, having not pitted for a second time, will find himself under pressure from his golden partner and old buddy, an old teammate of course too, but that might not last too long as the stewards are now looking at Schumacher and Latifi for that collision down at the hairpin.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be short work, I think, getting past the McLaren in this phase, and Sainz is on his way.
So Lewis said, don't leave me out on a one-stop.
He believes 13 seconds the gap now between Leclerc and Perez, and closing all the while as Sainz moves back up into 5th place ahead then of Lando Norris. A couple of drivers pitting. Sebastian Vettel up now into 12th, and we can actually have a look at what happened down the hairpin. Mick Schumacher thought he saw a gap
and there's contact, and they both go around. Latifi went rear first.
Losing their race seats for next season.
Oh, he's too far back.
I'm not sure that Schumacher will want to see this too many more times, Martin.
these things have got such
That's a bit of a clumsy move.
of an E-type jag out the front, and
He was, look, he gained a lot of time in the braking zone. He looked like he almost outbraked himself, but in the end, I think that's a bit of a clumsy move.
he ran into it.
Yeah,
They look rather neat.
agreed. He just went straight into the back of him.
Pirouetting.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, spinning. Shall I try spinning? Is that better? It's been a long season. I've said many words. Meanwhile, here's Lance Stroll being overtaken by George Russell, who has just
Mediums.
of course. Let's head out to you.
Yeah, so Lance Stroll actually pitting again. So this is the beginning with no safety car there. There's the teams were kind of looking at the Latifi Schumacher thinking, ooh, there's a safety car. But the beginning of the second stops for the solid two stoppers in front of Sebastian Vettel. So Joe, we've seen Stroll pit, Daniel Ricciardo, Russell. So this is going to end up in points, I predict, for Seb Vettel on his last F1 race. But maybe not the 5 they need more than Alfa Romeo Sauber.
Yeah, he needs to clear quite a few, including Esteban Ocon, Lando Norris potentially. 5-second time penalty for Mick Schumacher for causing a collision.
That's to be
Argue
expected.
against that. So yeah, we've got George Russell out on mediums, Carlos Sainz out on the hard compound tyres.
So Russell giving it an aggressive end to the season. Karim Chandler in race control. What have you got for us?
But, Ferrari have had a few questionable strategic moments this season.
You could say that.
Once again, Charles Leclerc, the cockpit, is questioning, saying, are you guys sure about this? Are you sure we should be doing one stop? There's no clear confidence from the cockpit.
What are your thoughts at this stage?
I'm okay for now.
Understood.
I think the last 10 laps will be critical.
Copy.
He's just had a lonely race, Max Verstappen, where his only battle this year seems to be against tyre degradation, not another driver.
Yeah, it's been pretty dominant, hasn't it? Very dominant season for Max. When you look back and review it, and this one has been pretty easy so far for him too. I mean, he's coasting into turn 9 there.
Yeah, and while he's coasting, he's still producing exactly the same times as Leclerc and Hamilton behind him. And Sergio Perez, around about a second ahead of his teammate, but 19 seconds behind. The key for Perez is the gap between himself and Charles Leclerc, which is around about 18 seconds now. Big lock up there by Zhou Guanyu. Sebastian Vettel will definitely like that because Vettel is right on the scene here. And the car ahead of Zhou Guanyu, Esteban Ocon.
Please. We're going to fix the clip. Yeah, we're going to fix it. Quick, I'm checking this latest clip.
Vettel's going to try around the outside of Zhou Guanyu all the way through turn 9. The rookie defends well. Keep a look at the rookie. He has won the Rookie of the Year trophy. They actually did present it.
Lando Norris is into the pits.
Well, there is, and he's the only rookie, so he's in full certainty right from the outset.
Oh, Jesus.
Absolutely excellent. I'm glad he's got another season to show us just how good he is, potentially, to race in front of his home fans in Shanghai, of course.
So Perez is catching him a second a lap. You have to assume Leclerc's tyres are going to get progressively worse. And that's only just enough, isn't it? So we're very close to the end of the Grand Prix.
It certainly is. Lando Norris has pitted. As you can see, he's come out behind George Russell now in 7th place, where he's spent a his time. Zhou Guanyu has been pursued by two Prix machines, the two Aston Martins of Vettel and Stroll. Vettel tried into turn 9 on the previous lap. Didn't quite come off for him.
15 laps to go to the end of the season.
In this race, might have a bit more pace than his teammate as Daniel Ricciardo now comes under pressure from Esteban Ocon going into the chicane. Ocon moves himself ahead of Ricciardo and up into 8th place. 3 cars separated by not many metres going into the chicane will now emerge out of it, and we'll see in the turn 9 who can pull off the overtake. Ocon there ahead of Ricciardo. Zhou Guanyu.
Oi, Joe.
Vettel's got that one covered though, and he's definitely got the pace to get past the Alfa Romeo, and does so with Lance Stroll now going round the outside and see what he can pick up too.
We believe we'll get overtaken at the end of the race.
Stroll there went right off the track, Martin, and in doing so kept his foot down, came back off the track and ahead of Zhou Guanyu. That's why
Not anymore, he's given up the place. That's smart.
Yeah, Perez is coming at Leclerc rapidly now. So
Did Perez get DRS off Hamilton? No, he didn't.
On those medium tires, also
I think he will next time.
1 minute 29 to 10 will be tires.
Yeah, Martin, you're spot on. You've got to leave yourself enough laps to do something on your new tyres, but we're right at the end of the window for the second stops now, that 44. That is it. So if you go beyond this, you might only have the choice of going to a soft tyre at the end. Because that can only do about 10 or 11 laps, can't it, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
No, pretty late putting a medium on, we won't be quick enough.
Sometimes might be a good one though for the last 10 laps. If Ferrari realise that the plan that they've got to, and I forget which letter of the alphabet we're trying this afternoon, if they need another plan, could it be the soft compound tyre? Stroll eventually gets past Joe Guan Yu, and Aston Martin running, well, 10th and 12th, because Joe Guan Yu's taken that place back again.
Yeah, so Leclerc's got a brand new set of mediums and a brand new set of hard tyres available.
Can't lose time there. Catch and pass. Catch and pass. Get it up.
Yeah, it's Sergio time. Sergio's speed is what Red Bull need, and he's got some DRS assistance down that back straight. George Russell flying along with the medium compound tyre, and there you see the Perez.
Whoa.
He's got, and he does get level with Lewis Hamilton. Little lock up though, going into that chicane, and how much is that going to compromise him? Coming out of the chicane, Hamilton seems to get a much better exit, and he's now got DRS. A little bit of a slipstream as well to try and get that place back. Harris thought he got the overtake done without one look up. Martin seems to have lost it, and Hamilton manages to keep hold of that third place.
Yeah, but the reason I think Lewis didn't defend that is he wanted the DRS down the next straight to retake place. So it looked like Lewis was being very passive there. He wasn't. He just wanted the detection point and to come back at him, and that worked a treat.
Some sort of sleeping, praying mantis. This is very good for Charles Leclerc, of course, who wants Sergio Perez to have his pace slowed down a little bit. That's certainly what's happened on that last lap. Verstappen leads by 7.5 seconds from Charles Leclerc. They're trying to one-stop out in front and for the top two, and this is that Sergio Perez locked up into the chicane, only slightly. Just forced him deeper, and he compromised it on the exit.
Yeah, you have to turn 10, 20 degrees harder for the right hand of it. And then Hamilton behind him with his wing open into the slipstream. And stage right, there he is.
Lewis Hamilton emerging into view, and that's not what Sergio really wanted to see.
You could see very clearly there the reaction where as he went through the turbulent air of the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, this time he's staying back. This time he stays back.
Now in life you've got to learn, Martin, haven't you? You try and learn new things every day, and maybe Sergio has learned here.
Maybe Sergio has learned what happened this time. Here we go. He's got to get the move done this time. He has to. If he's got to have any chance of catching Charles late in the race, he's got to go up the inside. And I think that's job done. So now the gap is 10 seconds, and there's 12 laps to go. Next time by.
And his battle with Charles Leclerc, because as we carry on, the laps start to run out, and he's on target to be right there with the man in second place, and to try and take that second place in the championship. He could have lost 1 or 2 seconds with Lewis Hamilton in the way that he cost Lewis Hamilton quite a few seconds this time last year, or 11.5 months ago. Perez doing a great job that night, but he's been on the wrong end of some good defending and some holding up here tonight. Drew, let's head down to you.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton's been told he's got Carlos Sainz hunting him down now. Last night, 2 seconds faster, I understand it was, in the Ferrari. 10 laps to go, Crofty. And it's 10 seconds.
Yeah, and what did Lewis say on the radio? Certainly be one stopping.
They're going to do it.
But, so there's 3 drivers in
Oh,
the
dear.
28. That's Russell and Norris. There's one other in there as well. And Sainz. Russell, Norris and Sainz have been in the 1 minute 28 and are coming back. They're 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment.
Alex Schumacher passed Joe Guan Yu. Both drivers have been lapped along with Bottas, Magnussen and Latifi. We've lost one driver from this race, Fernando Alonso. But if you want to watch the highlights along with the details, like you customers can.
So the players on 1 lap fresher tyre, then
So Verstappen's going to stay.
so Verstappen's saying tyres are good. Just tell Checo to go full send.
Now's your time.
So as I said, Leclerc's on 1 lap fresher tire than Max, but he's still losing time. I think it just goes to show how well Red Bull or Max has really looked after his tyres. And that's what he's done so well. Throughout most of his career, he's really looked after his tyres really well.
So Verstappen ahead of Leclerc, ahead of Perez, Hamilton and Sainz, then the top 5. Coming out there, Russell and Norris, both on the medium compound tyre. Esteban Ocon has about 6 seconds on Daniel Ricciardo at the moment, have a pace advantage. Sebastian Vettel is gaining a bit on Daniel Ricciardo in 10th place, with Lance Stroll on the mediums behind him.
This is sort of a Michael Schumacher-esque drive there from Max Verstappen. It's kind of like, it almost looks, however slow he's driving, he's pulling away. It just looks so casual in the way that he's winding the car to the end of the Grand Prix, particularly the tyres, of course.
So we dropped to P6, but maybe battling back to P5.
Also known as your teammate.
Yes, George Russell. Meanwhile, out in front, you might not have heard this team radio from a lap ago. This is Max Verstappen reporting into the Red Bull team. Max Verstappen in a very happy place out in front.
And a very happy place to make it 3 wins in a row, Abu Dhabi. 3 poles in a row, 3 wins in a row for Max Verstappen, if he is able to achieve that.
You hold your breath a little bit when these two get together, but that was Vettel making way for his teammate to get past, I think.
And pushing Sebastian Vettel out of the World Championship points at this stage. They only hand out the sweeties at the end, of course, of the Grand Prix, so some time to go yet. But Leclerc has just put in his personal best of the Grand Prix, also in the 1 minute 29, so he's hanging in there now. This is going to be a great fight between Leclerc and Perez. Ted.
It is, isn't it, Martin? I'm looking forward to this. This is much closer than I thought it was going to be. Much closer than I think Red Bull thought it was going to be. So if Checo is going to go, quote, full send, then Ferrari is going to have to go 2 seconds there.
I think we get the strategy so wrong.
Well, it was a good idea at the time, but yeah, I think there are some in front who are trying some very, very ambitious, in front of Vettel, who are trying some ambitious 2 stops. But yeah, the 2 stops work for Lance Stroll so far, his teammate. I think that's probably what he's referring to, as Stroll's in front of him. But yeah, so Leclerc telling his teammate not to talk too many more on the radio, especially in the corners. Leclerc says, look, Xavi, I know what to do now. He's got a big job ahead of him to defend P2. As a replay. I think what Sebastian Vettel is saying is that, come on, everyone around us is 2-stopping here. We've gone for the 1 stop. I'm now out of the points. This is not really how it should have gone. Stroll is ahead of Ricciardo and up into 9th. And if Vettel doesn't get into the points, there'll be a steward's inquiry at the end of this.
Good information there. Very good information. Don't let the car scrub across the track. I couldn't help but see the irony on Stroll's roll.
7 seconds. Perez to Leclerc, and there's 8 laps to go next time by. He might catch him.
Yeah, it got a little bit touchy at the end in Sao Paulo as well. With Sebastian Vettel not having any soft compound tyres, tumbling out of the points. And on the wrong strategy that day, and as he crossed the line, he went, yeah, okay, thanks guys, you could have let me have a point. The points going to his teammate with a 6th, 10th place finish of the season.
Yes, and I'm sure up 4 places from the grid, and Sebastian Vettel down 2.
But what they need at Aston Martin is both drivers to advance a little bit beyond Ocon and beyond Ricciardo, and then they could be looking at a 6th place finish in the championship. That would to give them 8th and 9th. That would give them the 5 points that I think they need.
Tyler dropping off for Lewis Hamilton, he just reported.
Ricciardo ahead of him. He's got that pace, and there he goes. And up into 9th place. Nice.
Sainz is catching Hamilton pretty quickly, but is it quickly enough? He was 1.3 seconds faster on that lap, mind you, and another personal best. Carlos Sainz, dragging George Russell along with him. So they'll be reasonably close to Lewis Hamilton in the closing stages.
Charles Leclerc, in the Drivers' Championship this year. See 3 wins, 10 podiums. He's got a heck of a lot of poles as well. Failed to win 7 times when starting on pole in 2022. Sergio Perez with 2 wins. In Monaco, of course, and in Singapore has had his best season. In Formula 1 has only ever had 1 top 6 finish. Here in Abu Dhabi in GP2, he won. Did he love to be on the podium though for the first time here as a Formula 1 driver? And that gap, well, as you can see, starting to come down. 6.3 seconds.
Robert Schwartzman in the Ferrari garage.
Down at Ferrari now.
Under 10 laps to go. In fact, make it 7 to go for Charles Leclerc right now.
To the end of the season here, there's Charles Leclerc. You can just see Sergio Perez in the background. Now on proper full send mode. What was the difference in lap time on that last lap? 0.6 of a second.
It's not enough, is it?
No.
It's not enough.
Perez, meanwhile, has Daniel Ricciardo in his sights and was closing in on the McLaren a bit too fast.
Time, buddy. 7 laps to go. All out.
He's getting Hugh Bird, his race engineer, giving him proper motivation. Daniel tried that move when his former teammate Daniel Ricciardo did come off. He lost a little bit of ground to it. We're still looking quite a long way into the distance to see Sergio Perez here as he chases down Leclerc.
Lewis Hamilton has now got a black and white flag for track limit, so one more he gets a 5-second penalty. So he's going to have to be very neat and tidy in his closing stages.
And because Leclerc, Carlos is almost under 5 seconds.
Sainz is going out. It will be under 5 seconds behind Hamilton.
So Carlos might even get
George Russell.
Lewis before the end.
And a decent pace, catching Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton going for that 1 stop. Verstappen and Leclerc going for that 1 stop. Perez and Red Bull taking a bit of a gamble, going for a 2 stop and hoping that that can give them the advantage they need to either stay ahead or get ahead. So Charles Leclerc, it's 4/10 on this lap that Perez has picked up, but only 4/10. He needs really to be second a lap faster than Charles Leclerc, whose tyres could still go off a little bit more, of course. The gap down to 5.4 seconds as he crossed the line. Better lap for Perez, 8 tenths faster than Charles Leclerc. Leclerc with those hard compact tyres on now for 31 laps. Hamilton, 34 laps for his tyres. They can't wait for the checkered flag, I'm sure. What will help Perez, if he can get to these cars at the right time, is he might get a bit of DRS as he's starting to lap some back markers. Gasly and Albon a little bit further ahead of Charles Leclerc. So that might not come into play for him.
That's a great drive from Leclerc, isn't it? To split the Red Bulls. That didn't look at all likely, did it, in the opening stages?
Certainly didn't. At 53 out of 58. And Sergio Perez is just looking for any advantage he can find.
Max can't get Leclerc DRS. Does make it easier for Leclerc to defend against you.
And what, 0.6 of a second on this lap in the first 2 sectors. Ted, down to you.
Just to on the 2 leavees, and that's leavers, Ricciardo and Vettel. Vettel's closing on that Ricciardo is going to get him in the next lap or so if the current pace keeps up.
5 to go.
Thanks ever so much, Ted. 5 laps to go at the Formula 1 season in 2022.
So Sainz is going to be on Hamilton on the last lap, effectively. Will Perez do the same to Leclerc? Stay tuned.
I think these last 5 laps pretty much sums up this season as a whole. No dispute who's...
For the first time ever in his career, Lewis Hamilton
has all been about second place.
For the first time ever, Lewis Hamilton is going to go a full season without taking pole and without taking a win. Poleless and winless for the very first time in Lewis Hamilton's career. Wow. Literally, this is Hamilton's worst season to date.
For the Alfa Romeo, Hamilton will get a bit of DRS to try and get past the The Alfa Romeo and the Haas are having their own particular fight, and they're going to have to make way because they've been lapped in this race. Perez now about 4 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, still gaining on this lap. 6
Ooh.
seconds through the first 2 sectors once more.
Oh, this is going to get awkward.
With Bottas,
This is going to be really awkward.
just held up Hamilton momentarily. Schumacher then eventually does move out of the way. Hamilton can chase past him. Max Lauda, Nicky Lauda's son, here in the Mercedes garage. Great to see him here. Mercedes with that red star for Nicky. They run with at all times.
I can't help but think that
You get a bit on him the last lap. You got it.
I can't help but think that Lewis would have been P5 anyway had he have stopped. So he's fighting it before the fifth now. But I think what he's recognising is that the red Ferrari that's looming in his mirrors now is going to be passed it before the checkered flag.
He was passed, of course, by George Russell's teammate in that first stint. And that's relegated him down. But you're absolutely right there, Martin. On board with Sergio Perez. And the gap now is very much...
I'm not sure if Ferrari can do the tensions for much longer.
Even more so.
Holy dooly.
Is Hamilton there?
Let's go on your show. Literally up Hamilton's gearbox. Oh no. Oh, he's got a problem, Lewis Hamilton.
Sainz goes ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who was absolutely powerless to try and defend, and he's still stuck in 7th gear at the moment.
He's literally stuck in 7th.
A remedy, but this is a hydraulic issue, and this
3 laps to go. Oh, a third or so to go can ruin things for Checo.
He's got it down into 5th gear from 7th.
Yeah,
Oh, this is disappointing.
Can he somehow get that car back to the pits? 2.7 seconds between Perez and Leclerc.
the end of the road for Lewis Hamilton's competitive race anyway.
And for Mercedes' chances of beating Ferrari really in the Constructors' Championship, they're falling by the wayside too. They really needed to get 2 cars out on the road in case something happened to the Ferraris. Hamilton then, oh, what a disappointing moment for him. Sergio Perez continues.
Come on, Checo.
Now the gap, 2.7 seconds to Charles Leclerc.
Come on, you idiots, get out of the way.
Past these squabbling back markers in a hurry.
Well, the story back markers there, Martin. I thought they were going to keep out of the way, but Pierre Gasly did
Come on, get out of the way, you idiots. Damn it. That might just ruin his chance for second. And now he's just made it back into the pits. Ah. Mercedes literally the best car on reliability, and it just happens to fall bad for Lewis in the last couple of laps.
We're looking at the battle here, Martin, for second place. But Sebastian Vettel, if he can get past Daniel Ricciardo, that will give Aston Martin 6th place in the Constructors' Championship and $12 million to go with it. So there's a couple of things to try and keep an eye on here, but the big headline will be who's going to finish runner-up to Max Verstappen here. And will it be a Red Bull 1-2? There is our race leader.
Well, for Max,
Behind him is
not only is he going to win his 15th race, but he'll set the benchmark and a record that may never be broken. Well, not for a while anyway.
Yeah, kind of, wasn't it? All for second place in the World Championship. They've both declared and demonstrated how much it means to each of them to finish second to Verstappen this year. And it's it looks like a lot of work to do in a lap and a half for Sergio Perez.
But those tyres have been on Charles Leclerc's Ferrari for an awful lot longer. Is there life left in those tyres? Charles Leclerc pitted on lap 21. Sergio Perez, lap 33. There's a 12-lap difference. Leclerc hanging this out and hanging it out really well. But will it be enough? And on this lap, 3
Last
seconds
lap.
a second only, because Perez hasn't had the DRS. He's got a huge amount to do on
wide in the last corner, but he's got enough credits, I think, in terms of track limits to get away with that one.
So, Max Verstappen out in front on this final lap. And
What time
Max
is it?
Verstappen has been out
Just
in
on
front
1:30.
for pretty much all this
It's not going to be
season.
enough.
It started well
It's going to be
with
Charles Leclerc
Leclerc
who gets
winning
P2 in the
three
driver's
races.
standings.
Red Bull had mechanical issues, but once Red Bull got going, there was no stopping them. Nicholas Latifi has retired in his final race for Williams and potentially in Formula One too. Verstappen a long way clear. Perez not making the impression he wants on Leclerc so far. Just 0.3 of a second on this lap. He's not had the DRS. He's gone deep into that chicane too.
Trying to gain whatever he can. It's not going to be enough.
This will be a huge amount. They've had disappointment, of course, in recent seasons where they
It's going to be Charles Leclerc who gets P2 in the driver's standings.
And this year to finish second in the Constructors' Championship, to finish second in the Drivers' Championship, that is a partial return to form for the prancing horse. And Sergio Perez is not making that move. But Red Bull thought he could on Charles Leclerc. They went to a two-stop strategy. Leclerc has hung it out really.
And out of the final corner, it's win number 15 for Max Verstappen. He wins the final race and secures the most wins in a season. 15 in a season for Max Verstappen. The record may not be broken for a long, long time. Leclerc comes home to finish second ahead of Sergio Perez, who got close, but not close enough. Finished third, Russell in fifth, Norris in sixth, Ocon seventh, and it is fourth place for Alpine. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. He'll finish in the points. The question is, where is he going to finish? He's not going to make the move on Daniel Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo should be okay for 9th place. The fireworks are going off, you can see in the background. Here comes Vettel. He's going to finish in the point in his final race in F1. Ricciardo gets 9th, Vettel in 10th. Farewell, Sebastian Vettel. Oh my god, you can't even see down the front straight. Remember these times. Farewell, said. We will miss you.
Sublime. It was actually a perfect way to sum up the season.
Amazing race, and not managed to be tarnished for holding on really well, so great job for everyone. What an amazing season we've had. Unbelievable. Very, very good job, Max. Well done. As GP says, an amazing way to round off what's been a beautiful year. Well done. Yeah, we can all be very, very proud. How did Checo end up?
Just 1.3 behind. 1.3 behind Leclerc.
Oh, that's close.
Close, but not close enough.
Yes, in the end,
A phenomenal season from Max Verstappen. He's broken nearly all records this year. The most wins in a season, 15. The most points scored in a season, which I think is 156. And here he goes. Burnouts for Max. He gets to do it as a world champion for the first time. And there's Sergio Perez in the background. Burnouts for the top 3. And I think that's the first time Max has done burnouts in an F1 car. I think the drivers are good to cook their tyres now. The season is over. Verstappen will retain the number 1 next season.
The golden crash helmet for the man who had the golden touch in 2022. Max Verstappen wins at the same circuit for 3 years in a row, for the first time in his career.
Three-peat for the first time in Max's career. Amazing.
Yeah, he had that covered every which way, didn't he? With Max Verstappen.
The fight was for the runners-up spot. There really was no fights for the lead here today. But Ferrari, with their best finish at Yas Marina since 2018, and second place in the Constructors' Championship, I think they'll be happy, certainly with that. Alpine, not the greatest night for them, but they hold off McLaren, of course, for fourth in the championship. And Sebastian Vettel,
A superb season.
is driving on to the Q2. Fernando Alonso
Superb season.
wanted some donuts to say goodbye.
And here comes Seb to do some burnouts. Some farewell burnouts. Why not?
And I think it was a big place finish, wasn't it, for Alfa Romeo at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix for Valtteri Bottas that got Alfa Romeo an extra $12 million. He gave it everything, Martin, right to the last, but you really would expect nothing else of this man.
And now it's us who has to remember these days.
Remember him emerging from the smoke of the tyres, the donuts in India. He got on his knees and bowed down to his Red Bull car. So,
We will miss you, Seb.
you've been a true champion for Red Bull, for Formula One, and for yourself too.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's tears coming out of his eyes.
I asked him a couple of days ago, did you finish fixing that bike you were working on, that classic bike? Or is that what you're going to do next week? He went, well, I've done one of them, I've got another to do.
I think he's got quite a collection.
Yeah.
He's been able to turn up to a few auctions.
Well, as one champion departs the grid, another champion walks onto it to talk to our top three tonight.
Checo. I mean, it looked like a tough race out there for you, and you missed out on that P2 by one point. How was it for you? Yeah, I mean, it's how it is. Sometimes everything can be really close, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be happy. You know, I gave it all. As a team, we gave it all through the season, and I'm sure we will come back stronger for next year. Yeah, I mean, this season, there's been a lot of ups and downs for you. Yesterday looked great in qualifying. For me, it just felt a little bit
That's a
more
good driver of the day.
position that we could have had a very different story.
Like Kimi did last
What
year.
positives can you really take from the 2022 season? Well, certainly, you know, we had great moments, great battling. I think I did struggle a bit with these tires for this year, you know, in terms of managing the tires in the race. So hopefully that can be something that we will improve for next year, and generally you'll be a bit stronger. Excellent, Checo. Well, enjoy the winter, and look forward to you giving it a bit more next year. Thank you, mate. Cheers, Checo. Charles, it looks like it took a lot out of you, that race.
Yeah, it did. I was 110% from the first lap to the last lap. Honestly, we had the perfect race for us. There was not much more today. I knew that the only possibility for us to beat Checo today was with a different strategy and playing with the tire management, which we did really well today. And we managed to make the one stop work. So really, really happy.
Yeah, it looked like it was a big strategy from Valentine.
How much charge is left on my phone?
P2 in the championship.
2 hours of recording. Oh, still plenty of charge.
Thank you. I mean,
Plenty of charge.
we were a step forward in order to fight for the championship, but considering where we were last year, it's a really big step forward. I think we've improved towards the end of the season in terms of strategy. We still need to work in terms of race pace because coming the Sunday we seem to struggle a bit more. But we will push during the winter break in order to catch them back a little bit.
Cheers, Charles.
Thank you.
And here he is, the world champion of 22.
Max, fantastic victory. Double world champion. Win the last race of the season. Seems like it's the perfect season for you.
Yeah, it was a good race, you know.
It was all about time management. I think we looked after the mediums quite well. And then on the hard ties, was actually managing from that one to the end. But incredible, to win again here. And 15 win of the season is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been an outstanding year for you. What do you take from such a special year? Obviously, last year it was a little bit more competitive with fighting with Lewis for the championship, but this year you walked away with it.
It's been really enjoyable, to work with the whole team and to be able to achieve something like this year. I know it's going to be hard to replicate something like this, but it's also very good motivation to try and do well again next year.
Yeah, and it's great. There's some real true fighters on the grid, and you've done all you can with what you've been given. So congratulations. Enjoy your winter.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year.
All right.
Well, that's the start of
Dutch fans. And here he is. One final interview. Farewell said.
I think universally popular, Sebastian Vettel.
Congratulations, Seb. 4 World Championships, and you scored points in your last race. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, you know how it is. I wish it would have been a couple of more points. But yeah, I enjoyed the race. I think it was a bit of a different warm-up today to get into the race. But once the lights go off, it's full-on race mode. I think we, about today, obviously didn't go for maybe the best strategy. So it was a shame because I think we could have turned the Constructors' Championship around for us. But yeah, overall, obviously a big day, and a big thank you to all the support. So many flags, so many smiling faces, which has been very, very special, very nice. And yeah, I'm sure I'm going to miss more than I understand right now. Yeah.
But just talking about the race today, you looked like you were fighting with the Alpines. It looked like you could have finished so much higher, and it just went away from you guys. It seemed really
Yeah,
strange.
obviously we then opted to stay out, and when once the tires were getting older, we were going backwards. But once we committed to the one stop, I think that was it. But it was obviously the slower strategy today, so not so enjoyable when you're in the car and you're going backwards. I was fighting through the people, had a nice battle with Daniel, but just couldn't get close enough. But yeah, I think it's nice to also with him to fight the last couple of laps, and both of us finishing in the points. So yeah, it's been a big weekend.
You have the microphone. Please leave us
I
with a
don't have that
message.
much more to say. I feel a bit empty, to be honest. It's been a big weekend, but I can only repeat. I think the last 2 years have been very maybe disappointing from a sporting point of view, but very, very useful and important to me in my life. A lot of things happened. A lot of things that I realized. I think it's a huge privilege being in the position that we are in, and with that comes some responsibility. So I hope to pass on a little bit to the other drivers to carry on some of the good work. It's great to see that we have the power to inspire you with what we do and what we say. So I think there's far bigger and far more important things than racing in circles. But obviously it's what we love, and through that, if we can transport some of the really important values, that's big. And I think for that, the last 2 years have been great for me. So thank you for the support, thank you for the messages, the letters, and all the love in general. So yeah, I will miss that, but it's been an absolute joy, throughout my career. So thank you.
Well, he's absolutely right, Martin. As he says, racing around in circles, it's not going to change the world, but if you set the right example and you show the right message, then maybe we might have Sebastian Vettel, his world changed. Boy, did he give us some great years in Formula 1.
It's been a wonderful setup for him. I said it's had a finality to it, hasn't it? I haven't witnessed anything that suggests to me this is just a temporary farewell, but then I'm sure others thought that as well, like Niki Lauda and Fernando Alonso, Kimi Räikkönen, they came back, but this has more of a feeling of he's moving on, and I think he said in an interview in a German newspaper this week that if he still is pining for F1 2 years from now, he will feel he's failed in the other things he wants to achieve in life.
His career comes to an end then at the circuit he won the 2010 World Championship. Charles Leclerc busy celebrating with his team. Needs to go to the cool-down room and get ready for the podium celebrations here. Featured, of course, this man, Max Verstappen, quite used to seeing the fireworks and celebrating. He has absolutely lit up this race tonight. The rest just couldn't touch him.
He's been untouchable all year.
Perez through in Brazil, there wouldn't have been enough, as it turns out. I'm not quite sure why he didn't, but he chose not to at the time for one or more reasons. But that's all history now, isn't it? This is another glorious victory, his 35th victory in Formula One already.
Well done to Daniel Ricciardo. He scored in 7 out of 22 races this season, but tonight was one of them. He might be a teammate of these two next year as a Red Bull development driver. Let's hear though what Max and Checo have to say in the cool down room.
What happened at the start? It was suicide was clutch. Because they had a even they went for it. He was tiring. Who's that? He was tiring. Well, yeah, especially when you have to go right after the end. Yeah. For me, it was like pull-up race. You know, I was just for front of me. I was pushing all the way. But there was some pretty really like you were pushing a lot. I was pushing a bit. It's happened in front of me. I mean, you go on the other side. I saw these two cars. I was going because Kenny wants to let me pass the most of the other side. One off seconds. Yeah. I was alone. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was fine. Oh. Didn't feel like a goodbye to that moment. Sorry? Didn't feel like a goodbye to that. On the day he was not. I don't think. I don't think.
So the conversation goes on in the cool down room. Max Verstappen, 146 points now. His lead in the championship, his winning margin, just fails to set a new record for the largest winning margin for a champion. Sebastian Vettel takes that 155 points in 2013. One of the few things Max hasn't broken this year. The Red Bull car, the most successful Adrian Newey designed car, of course. Max put his feet up in a few days' time. I believe we've got a test here on Tuesday.
I think there's a big event for Honda over in Japan that they're all heading to as well. So they'll be on the road.
So, well, he's not officially, of course, world champion until he collects the trophy at the FIA Gala. That's part of the regulations. Sergio Perez then onto the podium and for his 11th podium of the season, which actually matches the number of podiums he scored in the previous 7 seasons combined. Without doubt, his most successful season in Formula One. Charles Leclerc, best previous finish in the championship was 4th. Back in 2019, he finishes as runner-up this season to the man who takes to the top step of the podium for the 15th time in 2022. Max Verstappen, this has been very much his year in Formula One.
Yeah, Verstappen something like 7 Grand Prix equivalent victories ahead.
much of the Austrian national anthem. I think second only to the Formula One anthem as most repeated music on a Formula One racetrack in 2022. What a season last night.
It's been, the racing's been great, I think, especially with such dramatically new regulations. We've had, you were saying earlier on in the show, 25% more overtaking. We've had some great stories to tell, haven't we? Ferrari started off so well.
And there's the first place medal that I was talking about at the start of the race.
Red Bull, they started tripping over their own tails a bit at Ferrari, but they managed to hold on to second place. They're quite comfortably in the end, both as a driver and as constructors. Mercedes struggling to get on top of their car, but they're certainly getting nearer, much nearer by the end of the season. So it all bodes well for next year. I think there's been some tremendous scraps out there. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
The winners from tonight onwards get a medal to go with their trophies, and the drivers get to keep those. That is a personal medal for each driver. It will be engraved, and it will have the number of which Grand Prix in the World Championship they've won at. This is the 1079th Formula One World Championship event. That will be on the medal for tonight.
Yeah, even if you get the, you need to give the main trophy to the team, you can still get a record as well. That's good.
Not sure what's in Max Verstappen's contract when it comes to keeping cars, though. I think this might be one he might like to add to his personal collection. It's a car that he has took on the world, and he has beaten in some style. 15 wins, second world championship. Max Verstappen, what a year it's been for him. That's it. Formula One is over in 2022. Enjoy your winter. You've got 105 days to go until we race in Bahrain and we start all over again. Who says that Max Verstappen won't be champion once more? Well, I think 19 other drivers would like to say so. Good night from Abu Dhabi.
Well done to Max Verstappen, 3 pole positions in a row.
Wow, and just like that, the season is finished.
For his entire season, 15
What time is
race
it? Just
victories,
on
8
the 40th,
records,
yeah.
and he clinched it.
And a nice early birthday present. Max winning the last race and finishing off the championship in style. A great birthday present.
I wonder how much he'll rue what happened in Interlagos, the fact that his teammate didn't give him the place back. Either way, it was still going to be Charles Leclerc's case, the fact that he didn't stop work.
What a year.
3 points he needed to take second place in the championship. That was 2022. And as Scotty was saying, it's all for us now to look forward to in 105 days' time.
I think I'm looking forward to about 5 or 6 hours sleep. 105 days until the Bahrain Grand Prix, the 3rd to the 5th of March, 2023.
To the 5th next year. A long old season, but one, as always, we're very much looking forward to here on Sky Sports F1. Busy day, as always, on Sunday in the NFL. Eagles at the Colts is from 5 o'clock. All of these on Sky Sports NFL. Cowboys against
Wow.
the big game there.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm hoping to do something like this for a few races in 2023. Some of them may be, post-race videos. Not all of them will be live. It would be miraculous if I somehow managed to do that. If you guys really want to see something like that, let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, or the stream a thumbs up. Post come the end of it if you haven't already. So subscribe to the video. Comment down below if you guys really want to see it. See more live videos. And until the next one, I'll see you next time.
On the stage, Verstappen with his 15th win in Abu Dhabi.